Hey guys, it's Jakey Crafty. Welcome to another Confessions of a Paper Addict Cutfiles. We just had another new release for August. It's amazing. I, however, was still dying to use some of those boy cut files that Virginia released in July. So it is my turn to finally use the Mr. Fix-It. A lot of people have done that already, but my turn. So I am going to use this Mr. Fix-It cut file, and I have these awesome pictures of my son helping his dad for the first time. I don't remember what they're fixing. They are fixing something on the truck. I don't recall what it was. My husband maybe can for the journaling. He can help me. But it was just a super cute thing to capture. So I wanted to, it's just going to be a pretty basic layout. I'm actually going to back these semi-traditionally, which is awesome. I don't do that very much, or haven't done that very much. But I think I grabbed out Storyteller, Vicki Boutin's Storyteller a few weeks ago, or for a few layouts. And I'm just baffled at why I hadn't really created with that much until now. So I'm going to play with that. Let me go ahead and back my cut file. I'm going to do the backing way of putting it down, upside down on the paper, back of the paper I want to use, tracing and cutting. So if you need to see how that's done, I have had some other videos. Otherwise, Virginia has a million videos showing that as well. Or if you'd like me to specifically do it, comment down below and I will see what I can do about that in the near future. But let's get started. So I've backed the cut file. You can see I backed all the letters with the same kind of like mixed media looking blue paper, and then all the tools with some other papers. I have this craft cardstock that came in a scrap room kit that I also got of Storyline, and I literally just got it wet and I'm crumpling it up. I wanted some texture in my background, and I had been inspired by somebody else. I think it was Sarah Scraps. It was a while ago. I'm still watching like YouTube videos. When I see a YouTube video I want to watch, if there's a ton of them, some of them I have time to watch right at that moment when they're released, but sometimes I always save them to my watch later. And so I'm still watching YouTube videos from May. So I think it was either April or May. She made, I think, a fall layout with some leaves, and before she stamped or something, she crumpled the paper. But basically, I just got it wet and I wrinkled it up a few times. Like I did it, I wrinkled it like 2 or 3 times, just making sure I got the texture, and then I left it to dry. So it was 12 by 12. I didn't trim it, so it's now shrunken a little bit. Now I'm taking my Versamark embossing pad and just scraping over it. A lot of times people will like take an ink pad to bring out those wrinkles. I'm actually going to emboss on them because it's something else I haven't done in a long time. And I'm pretty sure this is a Lindy's embossing powder that I've had forever. I bought it a long time ago. It's called Midnight Sapphire. If they still have it, I highly recommend it. It's so pretty. It's like this really dark, it looks like black, but then when you heat emboss it, the blues come out. So it reminded me of like an oil slick. So that is why I decided to use that, because I have these photos of my husband and my son. I think they're changing the oil in the car. I can't remember for sure, but I think that's what's happening. So I'm going to literally just put embossing powder all over wherever that embossing pad touched. And it's mostly going to be anything that's raised up, because I just grazed it on there. I didn't like push it really hard. So anywhere the paper has a wrinkle, it's going to attach. It did attach in some spots. There's one spot that looks a little blobby, but as I start heat gunning it, some of it does blow off because it's like stuck on there because the paper's necessarily is moist. I let it dry for like a day and a half, but it still like is more moist than other paper, if that makes sense. So it wasn't like super dry. I did put my anti-static powder on it and everything, and that seemed to at least help reduce that, but whatever didn't stick just blew off. So some of it cleans up a little bit, but it does give this crazy texture. To me, the background after I do this reminds me of gravel with oil spilled on it, because it's pooling in some places, it's clean in some places. So yeah, it reminds me of oil, which was kind of the point. So the way it turned out, I think, is awesome. After this, somehow my footage, I don't know if I forgot to push record. I was recording like 4 different videos at the same time. But I do back my photos twice with some pattern papers from the collection, and I pop all of it up on foam, and you'll see that here in a minute. Like all of a sudden it'll be just all on foam. And then I also back this part on one of the black papers that has like script on it in the Storyteller collection. So here we go. So I framed it. Yeah, I missed that footage in the middle. I'm not really sure where that went. But yeah, there you have it. So now I'm going to go through some of the die cuts in the collection. They're ginormous, and I knew that, and I should have broke them out before I started layering the photos, because I could have done more layering behind. But because my I want my cut file to kind of pop, because that's in the center and then it brings attention to the photos, and my background is so crazy, I'm okay if I don't embellish a ton, because there's enough going on with all the texture I have in the background. So I'm just going to grab these 2 frames that came in the collection, and I plan on cutting them apart, because I'm going to tuck this one behind that photo. I'm going to cut some more of it off, and then the other one I'm going to put on the right hand photo, because it's the one of them, you can see both of them together more. So I'm going to make sure to highlight that one and tuck it in right there. And I thought about using this blue, which is like, I think it says a picture's worth 1,000 words, but I'm like, but I have more than one picture. So do I really want to use a thing? Sometimes I get really literal like that, and sometimes that stuff doesn't bother me. So I don't know. But yeah, so that is where we're at. So I'm just going to add and glue those down. Apparently let you watch me struggle with my Nouveau. And then I created kind of a little cluster there with a ticket and that word smile. And then I'll grab the puppies, the puffy alphas in a second, and also put a couple hearts around, and one more ephemera piece where a little bit of journaling is going to go, and a puffy camera above that right hand photo as well. But there's not a lot to see on this layout, because a lot of the work went into just crumpling the background and making that and backing the cut file. Otherwise, the layout came together super, super fast. It was not overcomplicated at all. It was just a fun thing to do for my background. It'd be a really fun thing to do to add texture in strips. I might do that again and do it in strips behind and making a background. I don't know. I really like the crumpling paper, and I think I'm going to do it with some pattern paper just to give texture, not necessarily to ink it up, but I really liked what became of this one. It made me happy, very, very much happy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I will just be finishing those up, and then the little, it's like a calendar ticket thing I'm going to put above the right hand photo, and I just journal about that he's helping him fix the truck, and then it has a calendar on it, so I circle June 4th, and then I write 2017 on top. This is kind of older photo, but yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure you go check out the Etsy shop. Check out the new release. Make sure you're joined in the Facebook group. There's so much stuff to do. There's usually a challenge. There's always free cut files. And there's a brand new one for this month. So you don't want to miss out. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, we appreciate all the fun and the watching. I really love my subscribers. So I really hope you subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you give this a thumbs up, and I love comments. So go ahead and make a comment. I will at least react to and sometimes comment back when I have time. Lately, it's not been a lot of time. Lately, life has been crazy. But once again, thank you guys for watching. Here's some close-ups, and I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Bye.